No. Andraste's tits, human. You know how many people want to hire onto this expedition?
Look, we know you're going into the deep roads. You'll need to hire the best, and we're...
No. You're too late. Already done.
The money from this trip could fix everything. You need us. We fought Darkspawn.
Look, Precious, I don't care if you tore the horns off an ogre with your bare hands.
You make him understand. We're running from your bloody Templars.
My brother has a point. It's on his head, but it's still valid.
Oh, thanks for that.
So what about it, Bertrand? We're just what you need.
You're looking for a quick way out of the slums, right? You and every other Ferelden in this dump. Find another meal ticket.
Well, back to waiting for someone to turn us in.
It'll get harder if we're at each other's throats.
I know. It just seems like you either die in this city or you end up like the scum we're bargaining with. We need coin, status, something we can shove in that dwarf's face and keep people off our backs. And all I can think of is Uncle Gamlen.
You catch more flies with honey. But Gamlen's bullshit could work too.
Well, he did get us into the city, right? What else can we do? We're losing ground, and I don't fancy waking up in the gallows.
Hey!
I knew a guy once who could take every coin out of your pockets just by smiling at you. But you don't have the style to work Hightown, let alone the Merchants Guild. Might want to find yourself a new line of work. Off you go.
How do you do? Varric Tethras, at your service. I apologize for Bertrand. He wouldn't know an opportunity if it hit him square in the jaw.
But you would?
I would. What my brother doesn't realize is that we need someone like you. He would never admit it either. He's too proud. I, however, am quite practical.
You're part of Bertrand's venture.
That's right. The deep roads wouldn't normally be my thing, but I can't allow the head of our family to go down there alone. So as you might imagine, I have more than a passing interest in this expedition's success.
What makes you so certain we can help? You know nothing about us.
Oh, on the contrary. You've made quite the name for yourself over the last year. Serving with the Red Iron is no mean feat. Yet you not only served, you impressed. The name Hawk is on many lips these days. Not bad for a Ferelden fresh off the boat.
You must have heard of my brother as well, then.
A little, yes. But it is you they speak most of, Messer.
That figures.
Your brother is certainly welcome to join us by all means, but I'll leave that in your hands.
Oh, I'm going. Without this expedition, we won't last out the year.
You're going awfully far out of your way just to hire another guard.
We don't need another hireling. We need a partner. The truth is, Bertrand's been tearing his beard out trying to fund this on his own, but he can't do it. Invest in the expedition. 50 sovereigns and he can't refuse. Not with me there to vouch for you.
It sounds interesting, but if I had any gold, I wouldn't need this job.
You need to think big. There's only a brief window after a blight when the deep roads won't be crawling with darkspawn. The treasure you find down there could set you and your family up for life.
Come on. The dwarf makes some sense. No offense. Look, you started this, and it's a good idea. Certainly better than ending up in the gallows.
We work together, you and I, and before you know it, you'll have all the capital you need. What do you say?
What's to stop you from taking my investment and running?
You'll be traveling with the expedition, and I'll be at your side. If I cross you, you'll be the first one to know, and I'll be the last.
You're asking me to take a lot on faith.
You're asking for a guarantee? I don't know that I can give you one. Look, I know the Templars have been asking questions. How terrible would it be to get out of the city for a while? If this works out, you'll be wealthy enough that the Order won't be able to touch you. You need the coin, and I need your help. We need each other. I can't make it sound better than that.
There might be nothing down there except darkspawn and rubble. How can you be sure we'll make a profit?
Well, Bartrand isn't grasping at strings. He's operating on some good information. Some of the deep roads are so old, even the dwarves have forgotten them. We just need to get down there. Then Bartrand will lead the way. You and I will be there to handle problems.
What makes you so certain you'll be useful to me?
I know everyone in this city worth knowing. I can help you find the jobs you need, and if you don't need me for that, there's always Bianca.
You named your crossbow.
And why not? She's a beauty. Isn't that right, sweetheart?
It's not like I had anything better planned.
Perfect. Kyrkoll's crawling with work. You set aside some coin from every job, and you'll have the money in no time.
Sure, easy. But maybe Aveline's got some bounties out. She joined the city guard, right?
We should talk privately when you get the chance. In the Hanged Man, maybe. I'll be there when I'm not with you. Now, let's go see what trouble we can stir up.
Hawk, long time no see, my friend.
Worthy, when did you get back into town?
Oh, just a month or so ago. Things didn't work out in Orzammar. You still with the Red Iron? It was just a year you were with them, right?
I'm looking to become an explorer, of a sort.
I heard. Bartrand's hard to take, but his information is usually good.
Hard to take? That's putting it mildly.
I'll tell you what. I still have my old contacts. You need some rune crafting done, I can arrange it for you. Take care, Hawk. Don't get dead.
Sebastian, stop this madness. The Chantry cannot condone revenge, Sebastian.
It is my right, my duty, to show these assassins there is nowhere in the Free Marches to hide.
This is murder.
No. What happened to my family was murder.
With a blue bow about her neck.
Aveline.
Hello, Hawk.
Been a while, hasn't it?
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bartrand. He's a son of a bitch.
You know I don't like it when you have people watch me.
Saved me camping on your doorstep. After what we went through to get here, well, you're no child, but I take care of my friends. The places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
Still having trouble? I thought you were past all that.
Lately, I don't know. I've been pushed out to some dead patrols. Maybe I stepped on someone's toes.
You can be forceful.
My charm, right? I should be able to go where I'm needed. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kyrkvóll. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
This must be a very different pace from serving King Kalen.
I love that life. But there's a new king for a new Ferelden. Seems cocksure, but I guess he was there when the archdemon fell. Can't fault an active hand. It's just one more change, though. The real end for me was Ostagar. What about you, Carver? You were there. Do you feel something similar?
No.
All right, then. Bit of a tit, your brother.
It's been a year settling in. Are you all right?
You don't need to coddle me. I am where I am. How close I hold my memories is my own business.
The Blight is over. You could go back to Lothering.
That wasn't home for me. It was just where the Horde pressed us. It wasn't the first village I saw fall. But you don't get used to people losing everything.
I'd been away already. I don't know if I'd still call it home.
Sometimes the best thing about a place is that it's where you're from.
Seems like Kirkwoll suits you.
It has been a challenge. Lots of opportunity, if you're the type the locals want.
Are you?
If you argue enough, you kind of convince yourself.
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing.
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter, though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
You have a name, or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers, though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
I'm no guard, Aveline.
There's only so many of us. Temporary recruits are expected time to time, as long as they're competent. You still claim to be competent, right?
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. But there's profit and influence to be had. You're my friend, so I'm offering.
Aveline, you've got yourself a partner.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard. Maybe I should put you to use, Varric. Have you penned some warnings for the lawless?
Who's that for? Are most criminals big readers? Seems like pacifying the nobles.
Pictures, then. It was just a suggestion.
Well, how about a giant sign that just says don't? You could hit people with it.
Thank you. I get the point.
My. If it isn't Hawk.
Good to see you again, Elegant.
Lady Elegant, if you don't mind. I'm a married woman now. Last time we met, you were still working for that brutish thug, Mirren. Things have been going well since then?
Could be better. Could be worse.
I often feel the same way. You may recall I supplied the Red Iron with potions. I'd be willing to extend you the same courtesy if you like. All I ask is you inform me of any interesting reagents you find. In exchange, I'll approach my contacts on your behalf. And of course you'll need the appropriate recipes, such as this one. Free, for old time's sake.
Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
I'm still their daughter, their eldest. He wasn't like this in Lothering. I think he misses the open fields.
Come on, let's play Fetch the Invisible Ball.
He just needs to get out more, don't you, boy?
He's part of the family. I wouldn't want to lose him.
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
Gamlen, honestly, a Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Real easy to remember.
My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
This is the way things are, Mother. Gamlen can't change it now.
Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Lancey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwood since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in short pants, lad. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Oh, of course not. Why should you do something reasonable?
That touched a nerve. What's in there that you don't want us to see?
Nothing. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
What daft bastard leaves that behind?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
Maker, what a mess. I want to make things better for Mother. But some of what Gamlen says, I'm having a hard time hating him. Playing caretaker for someone else's life. Stuck in their shadow. That's no way to live.
Something you need to say?
Look, if you want to join the fight over who lost the most, fine. But I never lived here. Mother even gave me her old key to try and stir something. But I didn't know Grandfather. Finding his will doesn't matter to me.
She tried her best to give us what we need. I think she's due the same.
Oh, I see her side. Gamlen's definitely an arse. But it's not like we can just ask slavers to give back that life.
What have you heard?
Uncle's a chatty drunk. He was up to his neck and signed everything over. That's who has the estate. Apparently, the most extensive wine cellar in Kirkville is now a slave highway from the Undercity. That's the family legacy.
I think we need to pay them a visit and look for Mother's missing paperwork.
I'm sure they will be right neighborly about letting us poke around.
We'll give them the chance, sure.
All right, brother. If the key works, we'll clear the estate from the Undercity up. I don't know if this will help, but I do feel like hitting someone.
Well equipped for bandits, but dead is dead and the road is clear. Captain Jevon needs to know of this. Back to the barracks for your just reward. There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols, not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
A lot of yelling for doing him a favor.
We killed a band of highwaymen. What does it matter whose patrol it was? It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
So let's find out whose toes you actually stepped on.
Then we should check the duty roster and see who was supposed to take that route. What have I stepped in this time? Threaten my friends. Not letting that one go, Captain.
Aveline! I owe you for clearing that ambush the other night. Saved me a mess of trouble.
Brennan, that route was yours?
It was. Single patrol. I'd have been dead for sure.
A lone guard isn't much of a patrol.
Shouldn't need to be. That route was clear for weeks. First noise out of it was your big fight. The captain reassigned me after he heard what you did, and I passed the satchel to Donick for his patrol tonight.
The satchel?
Pay and order assignments. Captain has us run deliveries to the outposts during light duty. It's usually just an updated copy of the roster. The satchel for that night was heavy, though. Anyway, thanks again, Aveline. You're a good one.
So the satchel gets heavy the same day we discover an ambush?
You're sure you want to pursue this? This is your superior we're talking about.
If a guard has been put at risk, a good captain would want to know why. And if he's not a good captain, I want to know why.
I bet there's a perfectly reasonable lie that explains why your captain arranged this.
I'd be willing to hear it, but not while a guard may be walking into a trap. Brennan said Donick. A good man. Donick. I've got his route. A night walk in Lowtown. Let's go make sure his quiet patrol stays that way.
Who? Aveline? You're a beautiful sight.
Guardsman?
I mean, I was on patrol and they came out of nowhere. I took a few down, but there were too many at once. The captain said this route was supposed to be quiet.
The seal of the Viscount. Office details, city accounts.
Valuable to a guild of thieves.
A sacrificial delivery with one of our own. Captain Jevon will answer.
Exposing this kind of corruption could make the guards look weak.
Then we look weak. The others deserve better. This goes to the office of the Viscount. This will be known.
How dare you! I am guard captain! I won't be treated like this! Ferelden, bitch! This was none of your affair! I'll see you hanged! Quartered! This will not stand!
We found a number of debts to suspect peoples. Such poor character. But you, Aveline Valen, have proven your loyalty and ability.
The guard deserves better than him, Messire.
Indeed. The Viscount would have you put your care for the men into direct practice. You will assume the captain's job.
What?
In due time, of course. There will be training, approvals, months at least. But who better to rebuild respect than the woman who exposed this embarrassment? Resolve any outstanding business, guardswoman. You will be very busy.
Tom Wise?
Huh? Oh, Hawk.
Haven't seen you since Mirren hired me for that Red Iron job. Been a while. Heard you're going on some expedition into the deep roads. And right into Darkspawn territory. Sure that's wise?
We can't all make a living in the Undercity.
Just watch your back. That's all I'm saying. Say, you still in the market for some poisons? The Red Iron's been scarce, and business has been a little slow. You find any rare reagents and want me to whip you up something, just let me know. In fact, since you're an old friend, here's a recipe. My speciality. Everyone needs an edge sometimes, right? That has to be the vault. If there's anything to learn about the family, that's where it is. So this is it. Grandfather's will. Let's just take it back to Mother and be done with it.
I'll head for the door soon enough. I want to look around first.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
We found the will.
Grandfather left everything to Mother and us. I guess he had some sense after all. See for yourself.
I should maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I doubt you let the ashes get cold.
I took care of Father. I stayed. And on his deathbed, all he could talk about was Leandra. Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make her willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started. When I told your grandmother I was marrying your father, she threatened to disown me. She said my children would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life, let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
Grandmother didn't want you to leave. She tried holding on to you the only way she knew.
She would have been so proud of you. You're everything she wanted in an Amel grandchild. She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Oh, Bethany. She was such a sweet little girl. Never cried, just looked at you with those big eyes.
She was so young to be taken from us.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down, and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising, and that was it.
Blame the Darkspawn, not yourself.
The Darkspawn would have been happy with any prey. It was my fault it was Bethany. I miss her. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for after Bartran's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Bethany, but with luck, I can at least give us a home.
Thinking of life in Hightown?
We're still a long way from cowing Templars with our titles, brother.
You could slap on a smile for a few days, for her sake.
She's not interested in what I think. She wants to provide for us, and you're making sure it happens. And when we're done, I don't know, I guess we'll sit around thinking about how great we used to be. Mother didn't even want that life back until we got dumped here. And you only care because we're under Templar scrutiny.
Very well, Carver. What's your plan?
I'd look forward. Make something new. Stop paying debts for old men. And if I had to go backward, I'm not looking for ancient names. I'd fix what's important. What went wrong.
We can't just go back.
We wouldn't need to if you'd done it right. Lothering was our home, not this place. We could have stood our ground. You could have stopped that ogre from killing Bethany.
You're right.
What?
I'd change all of that if I could. But we don't have that option. And you know it. All right.
Brother. I feel... I don't know. It's like Mother taking everything out on us. She was just scared. I don't have a place in the life she is trying to bring back. I'm here if you need me. But I must find my own way.
So, what? Are you here to gloat? Gamlen's the idiot again. Gamlen's the fool who can't hold his money when it's given in a bloody silver basket. I tried, you know, when Leandra left. But no one was ever going to live up to her.
What was she like? As a girl?
We're only a year apart. But that was time enough for Leandra to get our parents wrapped firmly around her little finger. They showed her off at every opportunity. The beauty, the scholar, the light of their lives. As far as they were concerned, they should have stopped there.
I've seen the nobles in this town. Your parents must have had a fortune. Where did it all go?
Well, it's not like I stood at the side of the wharf and hurled it over. I tried to invest it. I got some good tips on trade in Kunari cheeses. And, you know, a man's got needs. I'm not denying I spent more on myself than I should have, but I figured it'd all work out.
So, the best way to make Daddy love you was to steal his money?
I changed their filthy sheets and wiped their chins through 2 bouts of the cholera, and the last word Father said was... Leandra. I'm not looking for love, but at least I got the money.
More mages. You talk. I'm going to ask the guards about their training.
I know your face. I am Tobias. You and that man are both Hawks. I remember your father. Malcolm was a good man.
I found a letter you sent about a friend of his you could not name.
Ah, the Templar. Your father could not write to him directly, lest the Order find out.
The Templar?
He allowed your father to leave Kirkwood. Rule is not served by caging the best of us. A wise man.
Not what I would expect from a Templar.
There was a time when the rules of the Order could be interpreted to suit a situation. Unlike these days. I will send the letters I held. It seems fitting that they return to family. such a friendship. Few like your father remain. Even fewer like the Templar. Rest well at the Maker's side, Sir Morivar Carver.
Keep it down, dog. All that noisy dog breath, day in, day out, make him stop.
He doesn't sweat like we do, and it's stuffy in here. You could open a window.
There, isn't that annoying? Ah, blight take you.
Here, I got you something.
Why?
I'm not holding you back with generosity. Just have a look.
These are by father. Are you sure they aren't meant for you? I bet another mage could get more out of them. For your service that cannot be admitted, I ask that you accept this trinket and know that I shall respect your name. Thank you, conscience of the Order, Sir Morivar Carver.
Carver? The Templar who allowed Father to leave Kirkwall. Your namesake.
A Templar? Have we met a Templar who isn't a colossal prig?
Father must have felt he was worth honoring.
A man who let him look ahead. And a name that would always mean skill thoughtfully applied.
Seems like he thought it held some promise.
Not a link back, but how to go forward. That's what I was to him. I don't know what to say, except thank you.